Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So let's do a monster review of the new limited character from the Starlight Mirage Hatcher, and that character is Sandalphon. And this is for the Ascension version, and I don't think I'm going to do an Evolution version review, because she seems pretty straightforward in how she plays. Basically how you would imagine her, that's how she's going to perform. But the Ascension is very unique, so I think it's worth having a look at her to see what she can do. And we'll look at her stats first. She has tank level HP, attack is low at 20,000, and then speed is pretty good for 400. That's pretty decent for a Pierce character. But then we see that she is a Blast type, and then actually her stats are pretty high for her being a Blast type. She has regen, that gives her 2,000 HP every turn, and that's not every round, that's every turn. So in a full round, you'll get back 8,000 HP. And then she also has a Super Null Warp, which will give her higher attack, the more warps there are on screen. And then she has Recovery M on the gauge. And that's very nice healing. And then she's also a Pierce character, so that helps her hit her teammates. She has the bump combo critical luck skill. And then she has a new bump combo, which I guess I'll call the healing beam. But it works like a dunk laser. The direction from which you hit her, that recovery beam will come out the other side. And it is piercing, so any enemy that it hits will take that damage. That's pretty good damage, 160,000. But then the beam will keep going and hit more enemies. And then if this beam hits one of your teammates, they'll get healing, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, the speed of this healing beam is very slow. So actually any character that hits a Sandalphon, the chance of them being healed by that beam is pretty high. They'll just keep going like through the beam and get that healing. The time that this does not work is if you're the character that hits Sandalphon, like rebounds immediately after hitting her. So like into a wall or into an enemy or something. But generally, you can think of it that if you hit Sandalphon, then you will get that healing. So that's very cool. One interesting thing about this bump combo is that if it is set off by a blast bump combo from another character, it will lock on to the nearest enemy. That's a very nice upgrade to that kind of dunk laser idea. It's similar to when a character with dunk laser goes into counterattack mode, like Ruby. Where, you know, it doesn't matter which direction she's hit, it'll just lock on to the nearest character. And then her sub-bump combo is also really good. It's the rebounding wave. This is the same as like Oberon or Guinevere. It is a sub-bump combo, so it's not at full power, but she is a blast type, so that upgrades the strength a little bit. It's about 24,000, which is pretty good. And then with every time it rebounds off of an enemy, it will do more damage. So yeah, if you use it in a mission with a lot of enemies, it can do pretty good damage. And yeah, because it is so good, even as a sub-bump combo, you can kind of, if for example you don't have a good shot with the recovery beam, or if you are not interested in using it at all, because it is a little tricky, it does take some team building to get the most out of it, you can ignore it and then just use the rebound wave, and then still get good damage out of her. And then her strike shot, it's the same as Tanpopo. So the first character she hits, she will set a bomb down there, and then the number of hits that you get from all of your characters together, there'll be a multiplier to that, and then the boss will take damage. So very damaging. It can skip gauges if you get enough hits in there. However, Sandalphon's bump combos, they don't do a lot of hits by themselves. So in addition to using her with another character with the blast bump combo, you also want to use her with characters with a lot of hits to their bump combos. And then looking at her overall, I think she's pretty balanced actually. She looks kind of weird and quirky in a lot of ways, but she's got a lot of healing, but she also has some very good damage possibilities. So yeah, she's not too heavy on the support side. Somebody that is maybe too heavy on the support side is Rei from the Evangelion Hatcher. She's got the barrier, she's got the gives barrier strike shot, she's got the recovery M. She does a little bit of damage with her lock-on trident laser, but nowhere near where Sandalphon is, so yeah, Sandalphon's pretty cool. I've used her a few times, and she's really unique and very powerful too. As for quests that she is good for, she only has the null warp, so you either have to take her to quests where you only need null warp, like Izanagi or Izanagi Zero, or you can use her and then try to get around other gimmicks, like an Akasha, for example. And then as for Able Berries good for her, I would say Sidekick. Definitely want to upgrade those bump combos. That would really help her damage output. Otherwise, I don't know. You could get a Strike Haste Able Berry for her, maybe. Speed up that strike shot. Because it can skip gauges. It's better to use it earlier than later. Okay, but let's take her to a quest. And then this is maybe the best party that I can think of with a drop monster in there. Avalon is really good with Sandalphon because she has the Rewind Blaster, which has a lot of hits. And then here, let's do left and right, and then we'll set off Asuka's Blast Bump combo, and then that Blast Bump combo will set off Sandalphon's Recovery Beam. So if we look there, the Recovery Beam did not go off to the right of the screen and off the screen. It went up. Because it was activated by the Blast Bump, and then it locked on to the nearest enemy. So that's why it went straight up. So that adds some real utility to that bump combo. Alright, so let's hit my teammates. Let's get that Recovery M in there, and full life. And then she does not have Magic Circle for this quest, but actually it kind of doesn't matter if she is a chick or not, because being in the chick form does not affect how much damage she heals, so she can still get around and she can still get the Recovery M in there. And then up to now, I felt like Kiss Kill Leela was the best healing monster in the game, even more than Rei from Evangelion. But Sandalphon, I'm thinking, is going to be number one from now on. She has it just coming and going here and there. So lots of healing. Another really good partner for Sandalphon would be Lancelot Transcendent, because he also has the Null Warp, so they can go to the same quests. And then he has the Spark Bullet, which is many hits. So yeah, if you can use a Sandalphon Strike Shot and then hit Lancelot, then you're almost guaranteed to get really good damage there. Alright, so we're going to skip around in this video. I'm not going to show you the whole run. I'll just show you the highlights where Sandalphon kind of showcases her abilities. Okay, more healing in there, more lock-on Recovery Beam. And then, yeah, just Sandalphon is recovering so much HP for us that I don't even care if she hits the damage wall. Okay, one more beam there, took down that golem. And let's get that beam in there again, along with Avalon's Strike Shot. So beam goes through the weak point, almost 1 million damage, and then plus the 2 million from Avalon's Strike Shot. And then another reason why Avalon and Sandalphon are good partners is because Avalon's Strike Shot does reduce your HP, but since Sandalphon is healing you for so much, you can use it much more easily, I would say. Pretty good damage there. I don't know what happened, we just went through the weak point, but yeah. Okay, so there again, with Asuka's Blast Bump combo, we turn the Recovery Beam into a lock-on. and I have said this about Bishamonten before, but the worst place for Bishamonten to be is next to the wall, because then it's very difficult to kind of get in there and you know, direct the beam in the direction that you want it to go. So generally, the closer that the character is in the center of the screen, the easier it will be to get that beam to go where you want it. But again, with Sandalphon's sub-bump combo, we kind of don't have to worry about it too much. Alright, so here we'll get the lock-on recovery beam by hitting Asuka, take out the wizard and the golem, so pretty good deal. Alright, let's see if we can hit everybody here and then get in that healing. Okay, only 2 guys, but yeah, pretty crazy damage there. So there I was able to take down the wizard guy before I hit Asuka. So I took down the wizard guy, hit Asuka, and then the recovery beam went towards the golem, taking him out, so that was pretty cool. And then there we were able to direct the recovery beam right through Akasha's weak point, so big damage there. Alright, so there the recovery beam went nowhere, just because we hit Sandalphon first from the bottom. And then here, I don't think, yeah, the recovery beam will miss the weak point there. But her other bump combo, you know, so good. That still did good damage on the boss. Okay, another lock-on recovery beam there with the wizard for over half his life. Okay, we'll use the recovery beam there to take down the golem. Alright, we're going to direct hit here with the recovery beam and hit a few other guys as well. Great damage. Alright, and then finally, let's look at a good example of a Sandalphon's strike shot. This will be a little bit overkill. But we'll set off Asuka, we'll get her homing out, and then we'll go back up and we'll hit Lancelot over there and set off his bump combo. So that should be lots of hits for the strike shot. And then the bomb, we will not set it on the boss's weak point. So we'll be able to see how much it does without that help. Okay, about 3 million damage there. Much more on the weak point. So yeah, pretty strong. Alright, so that was a look at Sandalphon Ascension. Very interesting character, very fun and useful and powerful, I think. So yeah, if you can, give her a try, and thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Take care.